All right, last couple of videos I have mentioned about, those who work 9 to 5 and they get sick and tired working with someone else and their dream is to open their own business. Now I'm in the verge on opening a business. All right, I've already signed the contract, I've got the shop. It's more for my partner instead of my shop, but I'm the guarantor, so I'm pretty much part of it. Um, there's a lot of to look at for a shop depending what you want to open, and the location, depending on the demographic and everything, and the price, etc., etc. Is this more for hospitality? They have a 2 point phase gas for the if you want to run a cafe or whatever. There's a lot of learning curve that I've learned, and one of the areas that I've learned is try to get a hold with the owner and try to get things fixed, even though it's their property, it's their investment, can be pain in the ass. And my scenario is one of them. Now, I didn't have attention to details when we checked on the shop, and the real estate was like banging on for us that the shop will be taken by someone else. There's a lot of interest, and it's a lot of push and notion like that. That was my biggest mistake for not attention to details of the shop. All right, and also when I looked at it, when I do got the keys, checking the shop carefully, I've noticed the ceiling mold and wall mold and floor mold because of the roof leaking, because it's an old shop. Then you start to realize how much you have to chase the owner. Obviously, a lot of emails going back and forth, communication face to face. You don't want to go through the hard stuff, like getting the commission or VCAT, whatever. But it doesn't work what you think it is, right? Like I said before, this shop, it's more of the owner. That's his investment. He's making money every single year, regardless if he's on a debt or no debt, right? That's the reason why he got the shop. Don't care. But even though it's the owner's fault, but the amount of time that we have tried to communicate, or perhaps wanting to send emails and not getting any answer, you start to feel like this is your problem, because it's not really your problem. It's like it's the owner's problem, and it's becoming like a problematic within my family, and the strain that we had to go through, the emails that we had to send. And my family members claiming that the emails, the way how I sent, is like a lawyer would type this sort of stuff. And I was a bit surprised because I was coming from my formal job of being a service manager in disability. But I was just banging on with the laws, the clause, the act, and finally they get start communicate, and there's just a lot of time wasting. That's one thing that many of you guys should understand when you open a shop. There's a lot of time wasting, even though the owner claim that it's going to work, that they're going to do it as soon as possible. They have to understand it's a wear and tear. This business is running every day. Of course, they're going to expect something is going to happen to the shop. It's not like the shop is not going to have any problems. It's exactly the same thing with the house. So we've ended up with the commission, and they acted immediately because of we've led to mediation. And all this stuff that I explained to you today, what is it, July the 8th or 9th, something around there. And we've got the shop in April, maybe like 10th, something around there, April, something around there, we signed the contract. And I remember just from April to 24th to all the way now, things has been amended, even though they give the thumbs up on having the shop to repair. But I'm just there, I'm like, what the heck, all that suffering and pain, and the stock that we ordered and as well. And it's just too much. Someone's calling me. I'm not going to answer that while I'm making a video. But it just so much, it took so toll on us individual, and it make us lose interest or motivation to run this business, especially the first business. And when you go through that, it's sort of like you taint the whole relationship with the landlord, and as well with the real estate, even though it's not on your fault. So that's what I can say, those who wanting to jump in a business. I've get to see lots of vacant shops And one thing that surprised me the most is the fact that it's a brand new shops are not opening. Like the ones in apartment underneath, empty shop. And I've seen a couple of them, it's been empty, vacant for maybe 5 years or 10 years or since day one the apartment's been built. So it just, what I've been seeing is that a lot of people are afraid to starting a brand new shop because you have to go through lots of paperwork and the council's involvement a lot more with a brand new shop, depending on the business that you wanted to run. So if what I'm trying to say throughout the entire video is that it's a huge learning curve. Even though I've went through the worst outcome, it could have been a lot worse. But it's just taking the step, and you just got to do it. And whether you guys like the business or not, that is something that you guys have to figure out if you're sick and tired of your 9 to 5.